What's up, world? It's your boy God, man. I'm sitting up here listening to it's Thaddeus Matthews, you know what I'm saying? This is what he claiming. Let me see if this Thaddeus Matthews for real. Let me see. The cussing pastor Thaddeus Matthews. Let me see. Official King Jive Show. This really ain't nothing but jive, you know what I'm saying, right here, you know what I'm saying? This jive right here. You know, I know that dude from somewhere. I seen him from somewhere. I seen him on the show. But then this preacher is questioning this gay dude, you know, for, you know, talking about somebody was doing oral sex at a barbershop, and the barbershop was like that. He cut hair naked, and people in there play with themselves, and strippers come in and, you know, service men, you know what I'm saying? Service men, not servicemen, but service men, you know what I'm saying? I guess that is a service. If they doing that, you know what I'm saying? I can't say nothing, you know, I can't judge. That's the devil's job to judge, you know what I'm saying? And that's a preacher. That's the only reason I'm here looking at it, because it's got the title. The cussing pastor Thaddeus Matthews says no gay men in leadership. But this video though, why are you so interested in this? You must have been on that OnlyFans and it wasn't leaked. You just one of his fans, Pastor. That's what your problem
Well,
is.
y'all sure need to keep y'all hands clean. Each barber shall cleanse his hands thoroughly with soap and water immediately before serving each customer liquid or powdered soap in a shaker in a dispenser type container. No person who has any infectious disease or who has any communicable infection of the skin shall work or be permitted to work in a barber shop. You wasn't aware of that?
Nope.
Didn't they have those same laws in Chicago?
You said, did they have the same laws in Chicago?
Yeah.
Didn't check it out.
Were you a licensed barber?
Yes.
You been to school?
Yes.
You got your paperwork?
Licensed for 2 years.
You've been licensed for 2 years, and you don't know the requirements of barbering? Did you also understand?
See, that's the thing, you know, this preacher up here talking in this community. You know what I'm saying? That's really not safe. You know what I'm saying? But he talking in this community, he judging this man and all this. And the truth is, if you license, you got certificate. If you got a certificate, you got a license to do whatever job that needs to be done with a welding certificate, a haircut certificate, beautician certificate, whatever kind of, you know, certificate you want. You get certified, you got your certs. And then you get your stencil and you put your stencil on your work. My stencil, last stencil was B-E-Z. Jabez. G B-E-Z. B-E-Z. That's my stencil for my work. And you know, I remember one night, they just took off and started throwing everything away. I think for like 3 or 4 days while we was on this, working on shutting down 22. We was making wells and, you know, we was shutting down 22. We did a lot of work in it, doing a lot of work, cleaning it and doing this and that. And it was always going to be shut down for a couple of years. Then they were going to start it back up. So I think that was like 2009 when I became God, you know what I'm saying? Then they had to erase all the stencils. I remember going out in 22 or 33, one of them plants one night, you know what I'm saying? That was when I was dead. And I came, as Uncle Peck, you know what I'm saying? And it was me, Labor Jr., Kenna Ray, and a couple more of my friends, Russell Thomas, Labor Jr., I saw Labor Jr., you know what I'm saying? And we were welding, you know what I'm saying? We were welding, you know what I'm saying? And evidently they knew how to weld, just like I did, from another class though, of Mr. Ushery. Mr. Ushery I met again in Houston, you know what I'm saying, in Missouri City, you know what I'm saying? And who else? Who else? But anyway, they was throwing away all the BEZ, everything with BEZ on it had to be thrown away. Everything that I worked on, when they found out I was God, they had to erase everything off of Phillips 66 site that I had done. And they threw all them isometrics, you know what I'm saying? All that you need, trig, you need geometry, you need, you need all your math, man, to work in the plant. You know what I'm saying? So they threw away all that stuff, man, and rebuilt some of it, you know what I'm saying? And then later on, rebuilt some more stuff. Because they was taking land from the Brown family some more, you know what I'm saying, or the Brinkley family, whoever was on that land. They took a whole highway and made 35 into a 2-lane. Well, they made 4 lanes because there was 4 lanes over there, 3 lanes over there, and 3 lanes over here, you know what I'm saying? And they opened the highway up for miles all the way to Bay City, you know what I'm saying? And, put another plant in the middle of that, so you have to go around the plant to go to Bay City from Lake Jackson. Now you just can't take the little shortcuts and then hit it on in the back of the plant. No, it ain't the back of the plant no more. You don't even get on that site no more. Phillips 66 or Dow Chemical or any one of them. Brown Mine, that's my shit. Brown, it ain't Brian Mound, it's my own Brown. You know what I'm saying? My brain. And that's Brian with a GH in it. And 2 N's and a D. But listen to this pastor. Why is this pastor asking this man all these questions? Somebody had to put him up to it, or he have to be renting from him, or something like this. Something got to be done.
That in the state of Georgia, you can't have a barbershop in your apartment?
Nope, didn't know that either.
Well, let me give you the law.
Listen.
No room or part of a building occupied by a barbershop shall be used for residential purpose, nor shall living quarters of any kind be directly connected with the barbershop, nor shall a pool room.
Man, why are you sitting up there, lying? People can do whatever they want to do with their house. Their house can be a business. That's the church problem, man. Just lying, man, through his goddamn teeth. That's why he laying there in bed with all them tubes in his nose. They showing one of his operations or something. After the operation or something. You know what I'm saying? But he ain't got nothing but bad luck. You know what I'm saying? He really don't know nothing. You know what I'm saying? Let me show y'all another scripture. Myre, that's my air. Let me show you what my air sound like when you read it. Can a rush grow up without my hair? Can a flag, you know what I'm saying? This is a fig. This is a fig. Can a fig grow without water? But they lied and put flag. Can a flag grow without water? You know what I'm saying? The children of Israel shall abide. You know what I'm saying? You spell that outright with GH in it. Many days without a king, without a prince, without a sacrifice, without an image, without an effort, without a tariff, a tear of him, without a tear of him. That's not teraphim, that's tear of him. But y'all got teraphim. So now you gotta write it different and think of it as film now, because y'all don't have film. You got internet, you got MP4s, you got MP3s, you got audio, you got video. You know what I'm saying? Then they took Jeremiah and cast him into the dungeon. And dungeon ain't supposed to be spelled dungeon. And that is something else, I bet you. And Malchi, the son of Hamelech, you know what I'm saying? I bet all them are weapons that was in the court of the prison and let down Jeremiah with the cords. And in the dungeon there was no water but my air. So Jeremiah sunk in my air, probably in a cave or a mine, without father, without mother, without descendants, having neither beginning of days nor end of life, T.D. Jakes, but made like unto, I'm going to say it like that this time, unto ungodly, unheavenly, unlovely, unholy, unto the Son of God. Wouldn't come to the Son of God, because they couldn't come to the sun too bright. Abideth, a priest continually, you know what I'm saying? But that's without. So Job, I'm going to go to that scripture, you know what I'm saying? All right, listen to this, dog. Then answered Bildad. That's Bildad. You just use that in 2 words. Bildad. Spell them out right. Bildad, the Shuhite. You know what I'm saying? That's Shuhit. You know what I'm saying? Because Hittite is hitters. HIVites are hivers. You know what I'm saying? How long shall the words of your mouth be like a strong wind? Do God pervert judgment? Do the Almighty pervert justice? If your children have sinned against him, he hath cast them away for their transgression. If you would seek to God bedtimes and make your supplication to the Almighty, if you were too pure and upright, surely now he would awake for you and make the habitation of your righteous prosperous. Though your beginning was small, yet thy your later end, like latter days, your later end should greatly increase. And you won't die in 120 years. You'll get way more, like my grandfather and them did. Because everybody that I knew died at 46, because that's when I died. For inquire, I pray you, of the former age, and prepare yourself to search of their fathers. So, they wasn't caring about who was whose child at first. So now I got higher, higher. This is the word higher, Then I'm gonna go to air, but higher, and it's Zechariah, For before these days there was no hire for a man, nor any hire for a beast, because we used to rent beasts, Neither was there any peace to him that went out or came in because of affliction. For I set all men, every one against his neighbor, and all the graven images thereof shall be beaten into pieces, and all the hires now, high heirs, think of it, high heirs, thereof shall be burned with the fire, and the idols thereof I lay desolate, for she gathered of the hire, and an harlot, a prostitute, and they shall return to the hire of an prostitute, the hire of a prostitute, a harlot. Exodus 22:15. But if the owner thereof with it, he shall not make it good, it being hired thing, like an employer or employee, a hired thing, an employer, somebody own a business. It came for his hire. It came for his servant. His hire is his servant. For the kingdom, now this is Matthew 20, it's going to get a little different. But it's supposed to get different, but the Old Testament and New Testament, same shit. Just different months, different years. You know what I'm saying? For the kingdom of heaven is like a man that is a householder, that own a house which went out early in the morning to hire laborers into his vineyard, into his yard, into his garden to do work. Genesis 30:18. And Leah, that sound like my granddaughter's name, but that's Lay, you know what I'm saying? And Lee, God have given me my hire, my servant, because I have given my maiden to my husband, you know what I'm saying? And she called his name Issachar, you know what I'm saying? Issachar. And the same house remain eating and drinking such things as they give, for the laborer is worth his hire. Go not from house to house. Stay in one house. You know what I'm saying? But a servant has always been a hired hand. Now this is the heir. He is really, is heir. He heir. You know what I'm saying? He heir. You know what I'm saying? Heir, not higher or mire, which is my heir. And high heir. And behold, the word of the Lord came unto him. Shit, saying, this shall not be thine, your heir. This shall not be your heir, but he that shall come forth out of your own bowels, like Jeremy Champ, Diamond, Nike, Casey, and Onisha, and all them grandkids shall be your heir out of your own bowels. For an odious woman, when she is married, an odious woman is somebody with an odor, you know what I'm saying? But it's a mature woman, you know what I'm saying? Not virgin or ripe, you know what I'm saying? Ripe is virgin. Married, and when she is the odious woman, she is married, you know what I'm saying? When she is married, and a handmaid that is heir to her mistress, you know what I'm saying? It's heir to her mistress. So if her mistress dies, then the husband, gets her, you know what I'm saying, as a handmaid. But then now I say that the heir, as long as he is a child, differs nothing from a servant, though he be Lord of all. Wherefore you are no more servant, but a son. And if a son, then you're an heir of God through Christ. You know what I'm saying? That's Galatians. You know what I'm saying? I used to stay on Acacia. You know what I'm saying? Then I stayed, before I moved to Acacia, I stayed on Carl Vine. That was another one of Jake's streets. You know what I'm saying? Carl Vine and Acacia. Galatians. You know what I'm saying? Girl lashings. You know what I'm saying? Girl lashes is Galatians. Girls with big eyelashes is Galatians. Or big girls or big glaciers. You know what I'm saying? Galatians. Said, behold, to me you have given no seed, and lo, one born in my house is mine heir. Yet I will bring an heir to you, O inhabitants of Marcia, that's Moresha, but it's Marcia, Moresha, or Marisha. He shall come to Adullam. Adullam is my name. Adullam, the glory of Israel. And you can look up Adullam. It's got its own sentences a couple of times, you know what I'm saying? But those husbandmen said among themselves, the heir come, let us kill him, and the inheritance shall be ours. You know what I'm saying? Have in the last days spoken to us by his Son, whom he have appointed heir of all things, by whom he made the worlds. And that's Adam, you know what I'm saying? Adullam. And watch what happens when I put Adullam in the Bible. With, in the King James Bible. Adullam. Adullam. Really, that's Adulam. But then Adullam. Now, see how many times it's in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? And then you check yours. Oh, it's not in here. Oh, but it is in here. You know what I'm saying? Adullam, we did see Adullam. You know what I'm saying? And then the only way we're going to see it again, let me see. Adullam. Where was Adullam at? I just said it. I'm just going 24. That's me. Adullam. That was it. Adullam. I know where that. Wait, them some low down son gun. They took Adullam. Yeah, they did. As I read that too. Thou shalt not bring the hire of a whore or the price of a dog into the house of the Lord thy God for any vow. For even both these are abomination to the Lord your God. You know what I'm saying? But higher is basically that right there. I had that alarm, but then it didn't have nothing. Then if you pull up air, it ain't gonna have nothing either. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? Air. You see air in the Bible, but it's just regular sentences. Job. One is so near to another that no air can come between them. Y'all bunched up in that tower. Can't no air come between y'all. I therefore so run, not as uncertainly, so fight I, not as one beating the air. You know what I'm saying? And as they cried out and cast off their clothes and drew dust in the air. You know what I'm saying? And that's how the devil drew with a pen, drew with an ink pen, writing, drew a third of y'all out from all the lies that they told in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? I wish y'all, Dragon Drew, you know what I'm saying? I got Dragon Drew now. Let me see if it's in here. Yeah. And his tail drew a third part of the stars of heaven, and did cast them to the earth. And the dragon stood before the woman that was ready to be delivered, for to devour her child as soon as it was born, like when I died. Through 1, 3, shit, I died so many times. And there was a war in heaven, Michael and Archangel, against the dragon, and the dragon fought against his angels. Drew this and this and that, and the dragon, man. Like I say, man, it's all the same thing. We all in the same game. We in the same game. God's game. You know what I'm saying? God's game. You see my boy Papa Duck saying
correlation to trying to get them to give up things they really don't have. Do like the Vatican does, okay? Get a business. This is the church's business, okay? Whatever profits come from this church, come from the business that the church created through the tithing of the community. You take that profit and you put towards the church. The lights gonna be on, the rent gonna be paid, and all these other things. Because I'm telling you, the banks that even build...
That's my only problem. You know what I'm saying? My church is my house. God's house is his church. You know what I'm saying? So everybody's house is a church. And the work we do is on the internet. We talk to y'all about the news around the area and the neighborhood and what happened to the people and all that. We show all that. You know what I'm saying? But then that's what we do. You know what I'm saying? We show neighborhood news, not gossip, truth. And we are fighting a battle of good and evil, so we letting everybody know who God is and who the devil is by what lies have been told on God, and who really hit Jesus and who really didn't murder Jesus. You know what I'm saying? Who God and who ain't, like this man say. You know what I'm saying? Like Papa Duck and Uncle Peck say. You know what I'm saying? Pops Ghost say. You know what I'm saying? Get your business, man. You ain't gotta have no certificate to be no welder. You ain't gotta have no... If you know how to cut hair, you don't need no state license to cut nobody's hair. If you know how to do it, you could do it and charge people and they can pay you under the table. And you don't have to do no taxes. You know what I'm saying? And get paid by God for all your equipment and your apartment rent and your car you driving, your kids' cars and all that, all go on your W-2 form to the IRS with a line ass. No, there's air RS. And it ain't supposed to be no RS arresting a motherfucker for no money. Lying ass. You know he's the mark of the beast and the devil and Satan is goddamn money. You know what I'm saying? That's the fucking truth. Medicine and all that shit. Y'all know how to get it in and make it spiritual, not natural. You know what I'm saying? Which we gods, not no damn fools. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at some of these guys. No broke men make at least 200,000. Once told the doctor he wasn't, good enough. Let me see. Once told a doctor he wasn't ambitious enough for her. You know what I'm saying? And then this title say, thought playing with you was funny. Now, you know what I'm saying? Karma is getting to him. Let me see. Women spot, exploit simps. You know what I'm saying? That is Matthew's dildo video. What are you why is that is Matthews all about, the gay community? Why is he so against them? You know what I'm saying? And why is King Jobs the only one showing everybody else instead of him on the deal? And then they got Care with K-A-R. K-R. What's K-R? What's K-R, man? I ain't gonna never say care when Donald Trump spelling it with K, with K. But I do care about Donald Trump, you know what I'm saying? Trump's trade war among allies triggers retaliation from Canada. That's a damn shame. I tell you what, I bet Canada don't give him no money to try to war with God, keep this war going with God. Let me see. Willie D crashed out after being called a snitch, a scammer. You know what I'm saying? He disrespected major cities and DJs. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people got a lot of things to say, man. Learn to keep your broad in check. This dude here making money. He got 172 views, so he ain't that big of a deal. Then this dude, Willie D, Ringo TV playing Willie D. So, they all just coming against each other, man. All the devils are coming to come against each other. You know what I'm saying? There go, what his name on his stroke? Jamie Foxx on his stroke. Let me see.
I had a bad situation happen, but I'm back now. I feel good. But at that time, like I tell people, you don't dream tragedy when you dream. You just dream the best. I'm going to have the house and the cars and everything, but you don't dream that something bad going to happen. Because when it happened, I didn't remember it happened. So when I
you had a stroke.
Yeah, I had a brain bleed that led to a stroke. Me. Yeah. Like that don't happen to me. Like I missed 20 days of my life. And then when I came to, I said, yo, what am I doing in this wheelchair? And my boy said, you had a stroke. I said, come on, bro, I'm Jamie Foxx. Jamie Foxx don't have a stroke. And the only way I did get back was kind of being funny. So when they would come check on me, I was always telling jokes to the point to where I was never myself. I would always be somebody else's. Who are you? And for like 3 days, I was Denzel. All right, okay, all right. And you telling me I had a stroke? Okay. My nurses.
Yeah.
I had a bad situation happen, but I'm back now. I feel good, but at that time, like I tell people, you don't dream tragedy. It ain't gotta be no stroke. You just dream the best.
It could be
I'm gonna have the house, the car.
You could trip out on drugs and do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Look at everybody and not know who they is or talk like a robot First time I tried that stuff and it made me damn near go crazy, you know what I'm saying? I just thought I was like my dad and all them, you know what I'm saying? Pastor murdered his wife after he discovered through DNA the kids wasn't his. That's true. He was the biggest NFL, biggest star, and then he went crazy. What is this? 84, Daddy. No, yeah, it is 84. Let me see what this is. Wore 84 now. Ain't nobody ever wore 84 but me. You know what I'm saying? 24. Ain't nobody ever wore that.
One of the greatest receivers of the modern era. A 6-year stretch that would eclipse even the greatest receivers in NFL history.
My greatest to ever do it is the greatest Antonio Brown.
We saw Antonio Brown. Why would you do Antonio Brown? Let me remind you guys, Antonio Brown on the football field was one bad
However, one of the NFL's most dominant receivers on a Hall of Fame trajectory would suffer such a sharp and tragic downfall, leading many to believe that he had in fact gone insane.
Antonio Brown.
He should be ashamed of himself.
He's a team destroyer.
He is the kind of player I would never, ever want to play for.
Allegations overnight against NFL star Antonio Brown, accused of sexually assaulting a woman who worked as his trainer.
Tonight, Tampa police say they're trying to arrest former NFL player Antonio Brown, making multiple attempts outside this home to execute an arrest warrant for battery domestic violence.
Uploaded a team letter detailing his fines. Reportedly, he and Mayock got into a heated exchange in practice, with Brown threatening Mayock.
You expect to see Antonio Brown in the NFL again. Hours-long standoff between NFL star Antonio Brown and the Tampa Police Department.
Moving truck driver who was allegedly assaulted by NFL legend Antonio Brown.
So you trying to say I'm diagnosed with CTE from a hit? Like I don't. People are the same thing I walked off the field for that I didn't want to get. CTE. It's the same thing they put on me to say I got CTE crazy.
I wanted to tell you guys that I think James Harrison gave me CTE, and he hit me one time, and ever since he hit me, I've been super aggressive.
A flag does come in. Went to the head. Lewis Harris is going to be flagged for this on the hit on Antonio Brown. Time it seemed like two Vontaze perfect, and yes. Oh my goodness. Brown is still down.
One of Brown's earliest memories was watching a
day.
man steal a purse from his elementary school teacher, dashing away as the shocked students looked on. Brown grew up in a small neighborhood called Gwen Cherry Park in Miami, Florida, a place that fostered some of the NFL's biggest stars. A low-income neighborhood where gangs ruled the streets. As Antonio grew older, several of his friends joined the John Doe gang, which controlled the crack cocaine trade in Liberty City. Every party I went to ended in a shootout. Brown's childhood coach and father of T.Y. Hilton stated that 3 of his players had been murdered. At home, Brown had a strained relationship with his father-in-law, which would culminate in Brown leaving the house and surviving by sleeping at teammates' homes and sometimes in his car. Brown would begin to truly flourish as an athlete in high school. Attending Miami Northland High School, Brown quickly became a standout athlete, playing quarterback, wide receiver, running back, and punt returner. Brown would terrorize defenses, showcasing his elite speed and athleticism. But even with Brown's dominant on-field performance, Brown would fail to get a scholarship offer due to poor grades, and was able to raise his grades and received a scholarship to play at Florida International University. But an incident would occur that would mark the beginning of a dark trend that would continue throughout his life. Brown was walking on campus with a friend. An altercation occurred between the friend and another student, and campus security was called. Upon arrival, an argument ensued involving Brown and the security guard. It's unknown what exactly occurred in the altercation, but after the dispute, Brown fled in panic. In response to the incident, FIU expelled Antonio Brown. The school told Brown, "We're gonna say you were never here." Brown, however, would bounce back.
That young man right there, Antonio Brown, is his favorite receiver. Antonio is quite a talent. And there he is, Antonio Brown.
Enrolling at Central Michigan University, trying out for the football team as a walk-on freshman. And in just 3 years, Brown would become the school's all-time leader in receptions and would rank in the top 3 in receiving yards and touchdowns. And on January 7th, 2010, Brown would enter the 2010 NFL Draft.
With the first pick in the 2010 NFL Draft.
And you know what? The NFL did him the same way, you know what I'm saying? The NFL did him the same way. Act like he was never there. You know what I'm saying? And that's the way Dow did me when they blackballed me through with the communities and the cities and the state. When Dow Chemical blackballed me in the state and I had to go back to welding, you know what I'm saying? And being a welder instead of a safety man and a production man and, you know, general foreman and project manager and all that. They stole all that from me. John Vaslavic, I would say his daddy, his son was cool. But then, you know what I'm saying, Ernest Ramirez, Phillips 66 heads, and all Dow Chemical heads from the congressman, Ron Paul, ain't no Rand Paul, yeah, he ran, yeah. Run for president, you know what I'm saying? And then you got Jack Brown, who lie and say he's a good friend of Adam Jackson, or kin to Adam Jackson, to keep his money up and all his land secured where he can rent out to, you know, drug dealers, you know what I'm saying? That's cool to rent out to drug dealers because we became drug dealers, including we put legal in the stores. And that's all we smoking now is legal, just a little less grade. You know, medical grade, marijuana. You know what I'm saying? But I hope Antonio Brown got his life together now, you know what I'm saying? Cam Newton and George Reed, let me see. What's the deal on this? You know, and what's the tie-in with Kevin Wesley? Why Kevin Wesley is so...
Oh, Miss Royce. What do you want from this interview?
It's the fact that when someone has so much power over you and you become like the ant fighting the elephant. So my goal is for them to have a safe space to get their story out. It's just so they can breathe. Because when I told mine, I felt free.
When you say you've been silenced, in what way and who?
Dwight Howard. I was literally silenced by a document. He didn't realize by us having this new agreement that now allows me to speak because it null and voids the old one. That's also why all the records are unsealed. Congratulations. He wants to keep this image that everyone has of him. He's the one who smiled when he played basketball. He's Mr. Happy on Nickelodeon. That's not who he really is. This person is an angry person, and nobody sees that, and that's why we got here. He will do anything and everything to destroy you in order to get to hide the true him.
You broke up because he cheated, but you got back with him knowing that he did cheat. Thinking that,
Well, he begged me, and I went and I heard him out, and then I was getting ready to leave, and then it was like, can I have a hug? The hug turned into hand movements, turned into kisses on the neck, and...
Notebook shit.
Yeah. Now I'm pregnant.
Hey, makeup sex is a motherfucker, boy, you hear me?
But that's also around the time when I found out that he was with this other girl. Yeah.
And the plot thickens.
Yeah. He wouldn't leave me alone. He kept me in court, taking everything from me as I tried to better myself. I have tried so fucking hard to live, and you keep doing this shit behind closed doors.
Now I'm at the point of this conversation that it almost feels wrong.
So imagine living it.
I mean, we already here. Fuck it. Is he gay? Hey, you! Come here real quick. Come in closer. Closer. Hey. Hit that subscribe button. Back to the show. Yo, what's good? What's poppin'? What it is, what it ain't, what it could be, what it should be, what it would be. Cam Newton the sub, Mr. Qureaurgh'll. And I promise, I really do promise to give good content for the masses, but most of all, I promise to keep it funky for your asses. Now, in this new year, some things just not gonna change, and that's the content that we deliver to you, brought to you by Iconic Saga Productions. But something that does and will probably look a little different is we're in a new studio, ladies and gentlemen. We bossing up, we moving up, bigger and better things. Now, this person who I have the opportunity to sit across from is a professional dancer, a loving mother, a fighter, empowerer, and low-key, what I found out personally, is a low-key comedian. Now, I present to some and introduce to others, Mrs. Royce Reed.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. Hey, y'all.
What's good with you? Oh, Miss Royce.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the first question is, what are you up to these days?
Well, I brought my dance company back called Fantasy Chic.
Or like mute to a real situation, but like y'all was in agreement. That's when you gotta over communicate.
What do you think I was trying to do? Yeah. I was on my sidekick, like going in, like hello, aim, T-mail, text, like oh. Because why would I take mushrooms with y'all? I don't even know you like
This
that.
is still the same party or a
No,
party?
I'm sorry, I'm like jumping around, but this is actually, I want to say the first, second, third day we were there.
This was still quarantine.
Yeah, but it was like way in the beginning when they tried to get all of us to take mushrooms. It's like way in the beginning. It was, but then I think it was like the second day.
Okay,
Yeah.
now this is another question that sparks concern. Where the fuck are the children?
They are upstairs in their rooms with the nanny. Mm-hmm.
But part of me is like, that's fucked up. But another part of me has to keep it a buck. You were a part of that too.
Yeah, it was quarantine. Everybody was chilling. Everybody was outside in their own yard. Like, come on, everybody was probably puffing. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was not a problem. We was not the problem.
I don't think that that's the problem. I think what the problem is, yeah, substance is cool. Like, whatever the fuck floats your boat, you do that shit, but keep the kids out of it. There's nothing, it's like a cookout. When you look at the cookout, motherfuckers is drinking, they smoking, they playing spades, kids running around. You know, it's just a part of the aesthetic.
Yeah, so when this would happen, it would be like after, even this first time, it was like late. So they were like done for the night, right? But again, I didn't take it. So I was of sound mind, sound body. I'm just saying, you asked if they were men in the room, and yes.
Okay, men as in questionable, like were they blatantly, noticeably gay men?
No.
Or they was just,
I mean,
like, you know.
One is Kevin Wesley. You know, the guru.
I don't.
People know who he is, but it's crazy. But he was there, but he looks straight-ish gay. Like he could go, either way. Like you wouldn't be shocked if he said,
I'm coming
gay. Yeah. You'd be like, well, I had a feeling,
Like I knew it.
Yeah. And then there was another person in there as well, and Christine was there as well. But she was fine. Like she seemed like she was chilling. But they, but apparently, they took more than we did. But I mean, I didn't see them do anything.
All right, so talk to me about you and Christine's relationship, because that's not something that we've talked about yet. And also, if you know all this is happening, quarantine or not, why keep your son and you a part of this circus?
So remember, all of this is still towards the beginning. You know what I mean? Like, you're talking about the LeBron story, right? No, I'm going in order because you're asking like how things happen.
Yeah.
So it's that. Then we go to this funeral, and then it's talking about the matriarch thing. But I'm sorry, even before the funeral, it was that conversation, and I'm being told that I'm just treating them whatever. Now we're in Reno for the funeral, and as we're in Reno, it's I really think we need to talk about, us working things out, because I would hate for something like this to happen to you. I would be so devastated and hurt. I really want to work this out. So now this is what we're doing at a funeral with this girl's family. He's putting it on like that. So of course now we go back to the house. He tries Christine with that bullshit. And she leaves, right?
Like leaves to go.
Yeah, she leaves.
Like when you say leave, it's important for me. And
she left the house.
Okay, and
she
to go
packed her
where?
Shit up and left.
She's no longer staying in that house.
No, she went home.
Okay.
She was angry for real.
All right.
Right? I went home for Mother's Day. So I now have time to breathe. I miss you. And then, some sexual things as well. And I mean, just laying it on, and then pretended like he was texting his friend saying, man, I miss Roy so much. I can't stop thinking about her. My bad. I didn't mean to send that to you. What the fuck? Like, we still doing that? How old are we? It's the older sugar.
But it's work.
Bring your ass outside. You have tried to destroy us. You have taken everything away from me. So I don't have shit else to lose. But you definitely not taking my child. You're not gonna change his impression of me.
Is there a message that you would like to kind of say to individuals that are going through what you've been through?
Speak your peace. And listen to those words. Speak your peace. Whatever you need to say to find peace, speak it. Because again, I got nothing from this. I'm not getting paid. But I feel free. Like I can breathe. I can smile for real. And even though there's still a shitload of people that hate me for whatever reason and blame me for everything that has happened, that's okay. Because at least I have a bunch of ants crawling up that leg of that elephant. We eating away at it. But it's not just me anymore. It's free.
I see my family all in this lady, you know what I'm saying? I see my family all in this lady, you know what I'm saying? Man. Well, we're gonna have to get it right, man.